Xeno number 10 is within 7. He's going to attack this unit of arquebusiers. Hey Wargamers, Purple Druid here. Welcome back. Today we have a super fun game, or at least I hope it'll be super fun anyway, of Pike and Shot versus Xenomorphs using Fistful of Lead, which is an excellent game. This is part 2, and we're going to go ahead and dive right in. If you haven't seen part 1, I'll put a link down in the description. Be sure and check that out first, because that lays out all of the forces that we have here. But just as a quick recap, we have our Pike and Shot forces here. They are in a clearing as night falls, and the Xenomorphs have emerged from a rift between worlds hidden here in the Black Forest. And these 33 soldiers are going to have to defend themselves against these creatures. Hopefully, they will take them all out and be able to find the rift and then get some reinforcements and follow that rift back to the demon's home world. So here's our setting information. It's 1642, deep in the Black Forest during the 30 Years' War. A small Imperial detachment of 33 soldiers from a larger army has been dispatched to investigate reports of demonic creatures slaughtering villagers in the region. The soldiers, a mix of pikemen and arquebusiers, are led by Captain Heinrich von Sturm, a grizzled cavalry officer. They've set up camp in a clearing near a ruined chapel, surrounded by dense woods and rocky outcrops. Unbeknownst to them, a small hive of xenomorphs brought to Earth through a mysterious rift has been stalking the area, preying on anything that moves. The forest is dark, misty, and eerily silent, save for the occasional snap of a twig or a distant, unnatural hiss. And as mentioned, we have our clearing here. This red circle is a campfire. Everything within 6 inches of that is visible in terms of shooting and won't have any minuses due to the darkness. So let's go ahead and begin. What we're going to do, because there are so many figures, we're going to identify them. And I don't want to put the cards on the table because that just looks messy, and, you know, aesthetics matter. So each of the Xenomorphs has a Scrabble token that is marked with a number. The human forces are marked with Scrabble tokens. So we have Pikeman 1, Pikeman 2, Arquebus 1, Arquebus 2, and Arquebus 3. So they're all set up. I don't have a token for the commander because he's readily identifiable. We're going to deal a card. This sheet has all of the Xenomorphs, the commander, the Arquebus units, and then we'll deal out 2 additional cards here for Pike 1 and Pike 2. And that will determine when they get to go. As you recall, we deal cards high to low, and that determines the initiative for each figure, or group of figures in this case. So, well, let's go ahead and deal out some cards, and let's see what happens. So, that's weird. That was blank. That was blank. Why do we have blank cards in here? Aha, they're not blank. Just upside down. There we go. All right. Xenomorphs have a king of diamonds. I don't remember which one goes first in terms of suits, so I'm going to look that up and make myself a little cheat sheet here for any duplicates. All right, this is Pike 1, and this is Pike 2. +1 shooting for Pike 2. That's no good. All right, so I'm going to press pause for just a second and make a cheat sheet, and I'll be right back. All right, so the order of suits is spade, heart, diamond, club. All right, so let's go ahead and find our kings. We have a king right here and a king right here. Diamond before club. So Xeno 2 is going to go first. Where should I put the discards? Let's put the discards right there. Xeno 2 is over here. The Xenos are quick and slippery. They can go 7 inches. And let's go ahead and the Xenos are going to press the attack. So let's go ahead and move Xeno number 2 7 inches. 7 inches is going to be right up here to this rock. And then Arquebus 3 are these figures right here. And we're going to include the sergeant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's Arquebus 2, and then Arquebus 1 is these 5 here. Arquebus 3, they don't have a shot, so they're out of luck. Kings, any more kings? No, but we do have a queen of diamonds here and a queen of spades here. Remove all shock markers. We don't have any, so Xeno 6. Xeno 6 is going to move 7 inches. We'll put him right there. All right, the next queen is Queen of Diamonds. That is going to be Pike 1. Pike 1. Again, I don't believe they have much that they can do. So Pike 1 is going to go ahead and form out. They're going to move just a little bit like so. Move these over here. Change their facing just a little bit. There we go. So that's Pike 1. Any more queens? No. Jacks. Pike 2. Pike 2 is going to sit tight. Tens. Any tens? We have a 10. Oh, no, here's a jack right here. Xeno 12. Xeno 12. +1 close combat. Well, he doesn't have close combat. He's going to move 7 inches. That'll put him right into this piece of terrain. Jacks. All right, tens. Xeno 11. Xeno 11 is going to move forward as well. 7 inches is going to put him right behind this tree. That's tens. Nines. I have a 9 for Xeno 7. And again, 7 inches. We'll move up here. Eights. Don't have any 8s. We do have a whole bunch of 7s though. So 7 of spades is Xeno 5. He's way back here. So he'll move up. 7. Arquebus 1. Arquebus 1 can take a shot at this Xeno. He's going to get a -2. So the range for the arquebus is 9 and 18. So it's within 9 inches. So they're going to roll a d10, and they will need 5s. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need another d10. So they're going to take a shot at him, but they're going to need 7s in order to hit. So let's see what happens. And we got 3 10s and a 9. Outstanding. So we'll check our wound effect. All right, so we are going to roll a d10 for the 4 hits and see what we get here. First of all, we'll roll. We have 2 3s, a 6, and an 8. All right, so that is going to be 2 shock markers and 2 wounds. However, our Xenos have armors. They are going to save on a d8, or on an 8+. And they'll get a +1 to their roll for being in cover. So a 2 and an 11. So they're going to take 1 wound. So Xeno 7 is going to take a wound. Just as a reminder, every figure can take 3 wounds. That's the standard here. So okay, so that was 7 for Arquebus 1. And Xeno number 9 has a 7, and Arquebus 1. That was Arquebus 1, okay. Xeno number 9 has a 7. He gets to re-roll a die. Xeno number 9 is right here. And he's going to advance 7 inches, which will put him right there. I just knocked a tree over. And that's it for 7s. 6s. Xeno number 4. And then Xeno number 1. Xeno number 4 is over here. He's going to move up 7 inches. I'll put him right here behind this tree. And then Xeno number 1. Pardon me getting in front of the camera. Move right up there. And those are the 6s. 5s, 4s. Xeno number 3 has a 4. I'll move up here. And then we have 3s. Spade, Xeno 10 is going to go first. He's back here. And then the commander has a 3. He's going to... He's going to take a shot. He's got a pistol, range 6 inches and 12 inches. And that reminds me, Arquebus 1 has to reload. 6 inches. He does have the range. That'll be -2. All right. So he'll take a shot. That's a 4. He needed 3. So that's gonna. So I'm sorry. No, that's a 4. That's going to be a 2. So that's not going to hit. And he's going to get a reload marker as well. And 2, Arquebus 2. Roll 2 dice in shooting, close combat, task, or recovery. So look at to roll twice. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all within 9 inches. -2 to hit that Xeno. So again, we need 7s. We have a 7 and a 9 that are hits. We get to re-roll these. And we have an 8. So we have 3 hits on Xeno 12. 2 9s and a 10. So that will be a total of 6 wounds, but he does get a save on an 8+. And he will get a +1 for cover, so he's going to save 1. He's going to take 4 wounds, and that's going to take out this Xeno. So Xeno 12 has been eliminated. All right, and then Xeno 8 gets to go. We're not going to use the wild card this turn just because they're so far out and there's not much happening. So Xeno 8 is going to move forward 7 inches. Put him right there. All right, and that's the end of turn number 1. For the Arquebus and Gunners, they will need to reload. So that's going to be their action for this turn, unless they draw a card that allows them to automatically do so. So let's go ahead and deal the cards. I'm going to press pause for this because this is a boring part. All right, so now we're at turn 2. And just as a reminder, the Xenos have the Fearful Presence power. And what this means in practical effects is that any human model within 6 inches of a xenomorph must pass a coward test, roll 5+ on a d10 at the start of their activation, or they become shaken and cannot act this turn. Each model or unit must only check once per game. So when we get around to the different activations, it looks like we've got a few that are, and I probably should have done that for the commander. But you know what? I forgot about it, so we're going to just skip it and give them a bye this turn. All right, so turn 2. Let's go to kings. Where do we have kings? We have a king here for Pike 1. Arquebus 1 has a wild card. Xenomorph 5 has a wild card. Xeno 5 is back here. And they may or may not be in range of the pikeman or the commander. Do they want to make that a king? Well, in any case, Arquebus 1 has a wild card. They are a diamond. That's the only ace on the board right now. There's 2 aces on the board. Okay, so Arquebus 1 is going to try to reload before anything else happens. Now, are they within 6 inches? They are. Man, that's exactly 6 inches. to here. So they're going to have to make a cowardice check, which is a 5+. And they get a 7, so they are able to do that. They are going to reload, and that will be their action for this turn. Xeno 5 is going to wait. All right, so let's go to kings. Do we have any kings? Pike 1. Again, they don't have anyone they can see or do anything about, so they're going to sit tight. Kings, queens, oh, here's another king. King of Hearts, Xeno 6. Xeno 6 is way back here. He may or may not be able to reach. He's going to move up and stay in cover. And that is going to cause some cowardice checks. Any more kings? We have no more kings. Queens. We have any queens? We have a queen right here. Just the one queen. X9. X9 is right here. Heal 1 wound and stand if prone. Well, he is neither. He's also going to move forward and stay right here, because he's not quite within 7 inches. So he's going to go right there. So that's queens. Jacks. I've got a jack here. Xeno 3 will get +1 in close combat. Xeno 3 can reach these pikemen, and he gets a +1 in close combat. So here's what's going to happen. He's going to charge these dudes right here, and he's going to fight the pikemen. Now, close combat. Now for close combat, the pikemen have a special rule. As a unit, they get a +1 if there are other pikemen within, at least 3 pikemen within 2 inches, which there are. They also get to strike first, and then they're going to get another +1 for the sergeant who's with them. So the pikemen are going to be the green die. The Xeno is going to be the yellow die. The Xeno, just want to double check here. I'm sorry, the Xeno is going to roll a d12 because they're veterans. So there we go. And both of them are going to need a 5+ to hit. So we'll go ahead and roll. And the pikemen get +2, so that's going to be an 11. And the Xeno has a 1. Wow. So for the wound roll, there's going to be a +3 to the wound roll for our Xeno, and that's a 1 becomes a 4. He's going to get a shock marker. Oh, let's roll for his armor. Don't want to forget the armor. He needs an 8+, and it's an 8. So the wound, the shock goes to nothing, so there's no actual damages incurred there. And there we are. So that's it for Xeno number 3, which was a jack. And that +1 combat bonus was kind of wasted on him. When you roll a 1, not good. All right, so that's jacks. Any more jacks? Any more jacks? No. We have a 10, however. Just 1 10 for the commander. He's going to not reload. And since this Xeno is on the edge of the forest, first he has to make a cowardice check. So we'll roll that on a d10. That's an 8. So he makes his cowardice check. And then he's going to move into base contact. And we're going to do a melee. So once again, roll 2 dice. 9 to 1. Is that a 1 again? Good grief. difference of 8. +3 to the wound roll. 4 plus 3 is 7. That's going to be a wound. Roll the save. He does not save. So that'll be a wound for our Xeno. All right. Commander, no more 10s. Xeno number 5 is going to play his wild card now as a 10. He's going to move into close combat. Definitely has space. We'll roll the close combat. 4 versus 9. That's a difference of 5. +2 to the wound roll. 3 plus 2 is 5. Shock marker for the commander. Let's roll for his save. He gets a 3. He does not save. He's got a shock marker. All right. So that was 10s, I believe. Yes, 10s. Any more 10s? No, but I have a 9 right here. Xeno number 10. Xeno number 10 is within 7. He's going to attack this unit of arquebusiers. So we're going to roll. 4 to 2. The arquebusier wins by 2. No bonus. We'll roll on the wound table for our Xeno. That is a 9. He's going to take 2 wounds, but we're going to roll his armor save, and that's an 8. So it's going to go down. He's going to take a shock marker. All right, any more 9s? No, but we have 2 8s. We have an 8 of diamonds for X4. Xeno number 4. He's going to go ahead and charge these pikemen here, and he's going to fight the sergeant. Now, they've already fought a battle, so they're not going to get to fight first. So it'll be a simultaneous battle. It's 10 to 8 in favor of the sergeant. He actually gets an 11 because he's got a +1. And another +1, so that's going to be a 12. So that's a difference of 4. We're going to add +1 to the wound roll, which is a 2. +1 gives us a 3. That'll be a shock. We'll roll to save, which is a 9. So he'll save and not take a shock marker. Awesome. All right, so that was X4. At an 8. I've got another 8 down here for Pike 2. Pike 2. Pike 2. What do you think? Can Pike 2? I don't think they can charge. I don't think they can charge that guy. And he doesn't want to leave formation. But before they can activate or do anything, Pike 2, they're going to have to make a cowardice check. So let's roll that. And that's an 8, so they make it. They won't have to roll again. And I should be marking them. Yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, so that's 8. I have another 8. Arquebus 3. They don't have a shot. And I'm not going to make them roll Fearful Presence for that guy, so we're just going to skip that. 8, 7, 6, 5. Xeno 11 has a 5. Xeno 11 is going to make his way over here. He can't reach these guys on the wall, but he can get close. He's also more than 1 inch away. It's 8.5 inches. All right, so that's Xeno 11. Has a 5. For 4s, we have 2 Xenos and Arquebus 2. Arquebus 2, now they have a shot. Well, first we're going to roll for cowardice. And they pass. So they're going to go ahead and take 5 shots. It's going to be -1 because of the dark. They're going to hit on 5s. They're -1. And they get a +1 for firing as a unit. Should I roll 5 dice or should I add 5? I know I did it the other way before. You know what? Let me double check that because now I'm second guessing myself. I don't think I should be rolling all these dice. All right, yeah, so I did it right. We do roll 5 dice. So we're going to roll 5 dice. -1 for being in the dark. +1 for concentrated fire. They're all firing on the same target. And that target is only a single unit. So they're going to still need 5s to hit. And we have 2 9s, a 10, and a 7. So that'll be 4 hits. And so we'll roll on the wound table. A 1, a 1, a 3, and a 9. 3 shock markers and 2 wounds. So we're going to roll armor saves. Shock marker, no. Shock marker, yes. Shock marker, yes. 2 wounds, yes. So that'll actually be dropped down to 1 wound and a shock marker. 1 wound and a shock marker. Alright, so that's Arquebus 2 on 4. Xeno number 8, who technically should have gone first, but that's alright. He's going to move up here out of the dark and attack the Arquebus. D10 versus D12. Ooh, he wins by 12. Yikes. +3 to the wound roll. 5 goes up to an 8. That's going to be a wound. Will his armor save? Yes, he's going to take a shock marker. So this fella right here has a shock marker. All right. That was a 4. Xeno number 1. Xeno number 1 is more than 7 inches away from anybody. He is more than 8 inches away. So we're just going to move him up here to the edge of the forest. And now we have 2s. Spade first. Xeno number 2 can roll 2 dice in his things. Xeno number 2 is going to move up. He is 7 inches away, so he's going to get into this battle. All right. We'll start our rolls. Melee. 10 to 7. 10 to 7. That's a difference of 3 plus 1 to the wound roll. Going to be an 8. The Xeno's going to take 1 wound. Does he save? Yes, he's going to get a shock marker. And finally, shoot, I forgot he gets to roll 2 dice. That was a 7. That was a 2, so he'll stick with the 7. All right, and finally, Xeno number 7 also gets to roll 2 dice. Xeno number 7 is here. He is wounded. And so he's going to go up and he's going to attack our commander. I think our commander is going to bite the dust relatively quickly here because he's got to fight against 3 Xenos. He gets to roll 2 dice. 11 to 5, difference of 6. Add +2 to the wound roll. That's a 4, that's a 6. It's going to be 1 wound. Will he save? No. So our commander is going to get a wound. Yikes. All right. So that is the end of turn number 2. And I'm going to go ahead and hit pause here for a second, and we'll come back to this in just a moment.